At night, everything becomes quiet. There is nothing to respond to. There is nowhere to move. And the mind finally hears itself. Thoughts begin to appear. They are not urgent. They are not loud. They are simply present. And that moment can feel unfamiliar. It can even feel uncomfortable. Because during the day, your attention is constantly directed outward. There is movement. There is interaction. There is purpose. You respond. You decide. You adjust. Your mind is busy engaging with what is in front of you. Even when the day is stressful, the mind is occupied. There is always something ahead of you. There is always another task. There is always another responsibility. There is always another distraction. There is no empty space. And the brain fills whatever space you give it. But at night, there is nowhere to direct attention. There is no conversation. There is no message to reply to. There is no problem to solve. There is no decision to make. And in that absence, the mind turns inward. It finally hears itself. It notices what was paused. It notices what was delayed. It notices what was left unfinished. And rather than disappearing, those thoughts simply waited. Sleep is not only rest. Sleep is the time when the brain completes its work. During sleep, memories are sorted. During sleep, emotions are processed. During sleep, signals from the day are integrated. Patterns are reinforced. Meaning is formed. Experiences are stored. The nervous system resets. Stress responses reduce. The mind reorganizes itself. So when sleep does not arrive, the mind feels unfinished. It is not broken. It is not weak. It simply feels incomplete. It is like a sentence that ends halfway through. From an evolutionary view, this makes sense. For most of human history, night was not a time of complete safety. Darkness meant uncertainty. Silence meant awareness. The human brain did not evolve to shut down instantly when darkness arrived. It stayed slightly alert until safety was certain. It kept listening. It kept watching. It kept waiting. That tendency still lives in us. Even now, when danger is rare, the brain carries this pattern. So when the world becomes quiet, the brain listens. It does not switch off immediately. It checks. It scans. It stays aware just a little longer. And sometimes it stays aware long enough for you to notice. You may have felt this. Some nights, sleep comes easily. The mind settles. The body softens. Awareness fades. And on other nights, it feels impossible. The difference is not always the body. It is often the mind. On days when your mind was gently engaged and focused, but not overloaded, thoughts feel complete. There is a sense of closure. There is a sense of order. There is a sense of enough. Your attention feels anchored. Your emotions feel processed. Your day feels finished. But on days when your mind was stretched, pulled in many directions, interrupted repeatedly, and forced to push thoughts aside just to keep going, those thoughts do not disappear. They pause. They wait. They wait for quiet. They wait for stillness. They wait for night. Because night is the first moment without competition for attention. At night, there is finally space, and the mind uses that space to finish what was left unfinished. It revisits conversations. It replays decisions. It examines emotions that had no room earlier. It slows what was rushed. It surfaces what was submerged. It does this not to disturb you, but because this is the first moment it feels allowed to speak. And after some time awake, another thought appears. I should be asleep by now. That thought creates pressure. Pressure signals urgency. Urgency tells the brain that something is wrong. And when something feels wrong, the brain becomes alert. Thinking speeds up. Awareness sharpens. And sleep moves further away. Not sleeping creates stress. Stress activates the mind. An active mind delays sleep. This loop forms quietly and automatically. It does not happen because you are doing something wrong. It happens because the brain responds to pressure with alertness. Thinking feels like activity. Activity feels like control, and control feels safer than stillness. So thinking becomes a habit. It does not happen because you want to think. It happens because thinking feels safer than letting go. The mind begins solving. The mind begins predicting. The mind begins rehearsing. The mind begins protecting. It behaves as if stillness is unfamiliar territory. And in that effort, rest drifts further away. When sleep is delayed or fragmented, the brain does not complete its nightly reset. Emotions remain unprocessed. Stress responses stay active. So even after hours in bed, you may wake feeling tired. Exhaustion is not always physical. Often, it is mental carryover. It is thoughts not released. It is emotions not processed. It is alertness not switched off. The body wakes, but the mind is still working. And when this repeats, you begin to expect difficulty. Expectation becomes preparation. Preparation becomes vigilance. Vigilance keeps the mind awake. None of this is failure. None of this is weakness. It is simply a system that learned to protect you by staying alert. It is a system trying to help even when the help is no longer needed. This changes how we see the problem. The issue is not that your mind is too active. The issue is that we expect instant stillness from a system designed to slow gradually. The mind does not shut down. The mind unwinds. It unwinds layer by layer. It unwinds thought by thought. It unwinds signal by signal. It unwinds slowly. It unwinds gently. It unwinds in time. Tonight, if sleep takes time, remember this. Your mind is not malfunctioning. It is completing its cycle. It is listening. It is processing. It is settling. It is doing what it has always done, long before you noticed. Nothing is wrong. Nothing needs to be forced. Stillness cannot be commanded. Calm cannot be demanded. Understanding is enough. And when pressure fades, the system softens. Thoughts loosen. Awareness dims. Alertness eases. And the rest follows in its own time. It follows quietly. It follows naturally. It unfolds like dusk becoming night. It unfolds like waves settling after the tide. It unfolds like a long exhale after being held. It is not dramatic. It is not instant. It is simply gentle. And eventually, softening becomes stillness. Stillness becomes rest. And rest becomes sleep. It happens in its own way. It happens in its own rhythm. And your mind, having finished its work, finally lets go.